And we start this with a bang. Go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to the Montreal Pokemon League online series 12, I believe, VGC tournament. Anyways, tournament number 8, as we can see on the screen right here. We got a match for round 1 coming at you. Tiddvicious versus C00kies.
Basically, we are from the Montreal Pokemon League. I'm the electric gym leader. My name is Martin. I'm going to be your host with Gianni, who is our fairy gym leader currently. So if ever you guys are interested in joining us in the Victory Road Challenge, feel free to join us. It's online, totally free, and on Discord.
Yeah, and what's wonderful about the Victory Road Challenge is that there are numerous gym leaders you can challenge. And at the end of every season, we have a Elite Four-esque type of challenge. Well, this year will be a Tournament of Champions, is it not?
Exactly. It is basically like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, every champion, so everyone who will get 16 just out of the 18 available will be able to compete in the Champion of Champion tournament. Everybody who makes it to that tournament will be able to have badges, physical badges actually, and the grand winner of the Champion of Champion tournament will be able to have an art piece made by our team, and we'll be able to have a metal pin with the MPL logo that you can see on Tiddvicious stream in the middle of it.
Yeah, so if you were ever someone who was interested in playing the games when you were younger or still play them now, and you always wanted to feel like as if, wow, I wish I could have that kind of experience in real life. Well, if you live in the Montreal area or near it, this is an opportunity for you to get that kind of experience.
If ever, you're always welcome to join our tournament. Due to the pandemic, we needed to move our activities online, so feel free to join us on Discord. It's the same channel as the one that we are using for tournaments and all.
Yeah, and we also do attend other events as well. So if you end up attending maybe Otakuthon or Comic-Con in the near future, chances are you'll probably see us there too. So you'll be able to attend these events in person as well.
Exactly. So we are now waiting for round 1 of the tournament. While in the spotlight, there's Tiddvicious and C00kies.
Yeah. I'm wondering, right now we don't know which teams they're bringing yet, but I'm wondering what kind of cores we're going to see. I'm pretty sure Zacian is going to be a very, very popular Pokemon for this tournament.
Yeah, probably as well. Regieleki saw a lot of playing recently as well, so that'll be a staple probably in many of our challengers' teams.
Regieleki has been seeing use again. It's true, I completely forgot about that.
Yep.
It might make sense since Kyogre is a very popular Pokemon for players to use, so it'll be able to outspeed maybe one of those Choice Scarf Kyogres and be able to get some damage in before they can get those. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the attack, but not Origin Pulse.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
Water Spout. That's what it is.
Yeah, thank you.
My apologies. My mind just went blank there for a second. I haven't had my morning coffee yet, so.
Good morning.
All right, so I see the players are about ready to go. They're selecting the battle rules. As you can see, Series 12. We're going to get a chance to see their teams pretty soon.
Yup. And there you go. Speaking of which, like, one of the Pokemon that you mentioned is in there. I don't want to spoil it because we're not in battle yet, but
we will be able to see them during team preview right here. Coming up on Matt's team, you have Kyogre, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Thundurus, Whimsicott, and Zacian, as mentioned. And Martin, what's on Vince's team?
On Vince, there's the Regieleki that we were talking about. There's also Yveltal, Gastrodon, Metagross, and my personal favorite, Raichu. So thank you, Vince, for bringing that Pokemon.
Yeah, Raichu is a great Pokemon, has access to Lightning Rod, Fake Out, a lot of great support moves. It's a great support mon, especially if you're running 2 flyers on Vince's team, which are Yveltal and Ho-Oh, so it's going to be supportive. Do you think Gastrodon makes an appearance here since Matt has Kyogre?
We never know. The only thing I think, even as Whimsicott is a grass type that could put a little bit of pressure against Gastrodon. It might be a possibility that Gastrodon's still a bit of play, considering it has access to Ice type moves as well.
This is true. This is true, and a lot of them have been running those ice beams on it, since it does answer a lot of the meta instead of actually having the water type move as its fourth attack slot. So it'll be interesting to see what Vince brings and what Matt. Well, we could see what Matt is bringing. So let's see what Vince brings to the matchup as we're about to get started for turn one.
And here we go. First battle of the tournament is starting right now.
So, as we can see, Matt
Raichu and Yveltal for Vince.
And Matt brings Whimsicott and Zacian. So, pretty interesting matchup to start off with.
What are your opinion on this? Who do you think has the advantage at startup right now?
Well, right now it seems like Raichu might have a bit of an advantage on the Whimsicott. I'm feeling a fake out going to the slot of the Whimsicott, even though Whimsicott has access to Prankster, an ability that gives priority to status moves. Fake out has a higher priority ranking, so I'm expecting that to happen to it. But Zacian and Yveltal is a pretty interesting matchup turn one.
Because they are both neutral effect, I think. I don't remember. Can you please help me with Zacian's typing?
It is Fairy Steel type, so it does have a type advantage to Yveltal, but nonetheless, we see the Yveltal being swapped out actually, so it does not want to face that Zacian early on. Ho-Oh coming in, Fire Flying, which is a pretty good matchup versus Zacian. Behemoth Blade going into the Raichu slot. Oh, we might get an item reveal here, and it is a Focus Sash, which is usually a normal, classic item for Raichu, don't you find?
Yep, totally. Like, Raichu doesn't have much bulk, so to Focus Sash it is always a good choice in my opinion. And it guarantees you at least one hit, or even two, depending if you use Fake Out or on turn one, because Raichu has a high speed.
Agreed. And it seems like that was a good play by Vince there. He felt like as if Matt might have read into the fake out, so he went for a Nuzzle instead of Zacian, which is very key because Zacian is a fast Pokemon. So now with its speed cut in half from the paralysis, it might not have a chance to act before Ho-Oh can attack into it.
Change the turn of the match depending on which move he's using as well. Oh, Matt is going already with the Dynamax.
I believe it would be the Thundurus. Let's find out.
And you are totally right.
Yeah, and Thundurus is also a great Pokemon because if you want to use it physically, you can, or if you want to use it as a support mon, you can. But it seems like with Matt Dynamaxing it, it might be the physical variant.
And at least you have access to a lot of moves. Even Flying type can give you speed. You can have fighting types to boost your attack and stuff like that. This move pool is really great for that.
Indeed, and the Pokemon that does also have another good move pool is Ho-Oh because it does have access to either bulkier defensive moves or offensive moves. Ooh, Surf from the Raichu.
Oh.
I see. The Surf is going to proc the weakness policy, which pretty much going to double the attack and special attack of Ho-Oh. But it's still slower than the Thundurus.
But still, like, withstand barely nothing from the Surf, which is good because of the boost.
Indeed, and now let's see who it will attack, and it seems like it's going into the Thundurus slot. All right.
And wow, well, because of the weakness policy, but that did a lot of damage regardless.
Yeah, I believe maybe the weakness policy might have had a bit of a play in that, but mind you, Thundurus itself is not the bulkiest of Pokemon.
Sure.
But let's see this Behemoth Blade coming from the Zacian. It does get a double attack boost because it is against a Dynamax Pokemon, but it is a Steel type attack. Is it enough? No, it's not. Brings it down to about 40% health. But right now, it seems like Matt's a bit on the back foot. Let's see what he does to kind of get back into the game.
And here's Gastrodon. And Whimsicott.
So Whimsicott does pressure that Gastrodon, but Ho-Oh does have a lot of offense coming its way. So we'll see what happens here. But I don't know, actually, because it's a very, very tricky spot. Because Zacian is paralyzed, but you do have access to Tailwind. But Gastrodon can easily Earth Power into the Zacian slot. It's not looking too good for Matt. So we got Tailwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tailwind coming up to double the speed. Zacian getting, because of that, is faster than the Ho-Oh, gets Sacred Sword through. Oh, but Gastrodon has a berry. Max Airstream going to the Whimsicott slot, bringing it down to its Focus Sash, increasing the speed for both itself and for Gastrodon, which might be useful considering that Tailwind is up. And here comes the Earth Power from the Gastrodon into the Zacian slot, as said before, bringing it down to about a quarter health. Nope, Zacian holds on, but now this is going to be the turn because we have a Tailwind on one side, but a +1 speed on the other. Who do you think acts first, Martin?
Honestly, I think depending, Whimsicott is really fast, so I think he might be the first one to act, and then we'll see. Maybe depending on the speed of the Pokemon. I don't know the builds, so it depends. What are your opinion on that?
I have to agree with you. I think the Whimsicott's going to go first, but because of the +1, I believe Ho-Oh is after the Whimsicott. Oh, well, we see a Cotton Spore here. That would lower the speed, pretty much guaranteed Zacian to go first.
And it's paralyzed.
That's unfortunate for Zacian because I'm pretty sure if it would have been able to go through, it would have been a big turn for Matt, but this just helps turn the tide back in Vince's favor.
Gastrodon didn't hack yet, so probably Whimsicott will go down as well.
I believe so too. We're going to see in just a moment what the attack will be. Probably another Earth Power.
It's Beam.
This is interesting because, yes, it is a super effective attack. I totally get it, but it seems like Vince probably revealed some info to Matt from this.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's something that was expected, in my opinion. So probably it's something that Matt took. Well, I don't know. I'm not in Matt's head, but maybe it's something you could have expected coming from that Pokemon.
Yeah, and you know, we said it before the match. Well, I said it, but still, we're a team, right? So I said it like, you know, Ice Beam's usually a popular move on Gastrodon during this format, and it seems so. But Matt, right now, Kyogre and versus 3 other Mons. Ooh, we'll see what happens here.
So Tailwind is still effective, yeah, and Kyogre. But the Storm Drain.
Yeah, but I feel like as if he just still wants to do it just to get rid of the Ho-Oh. He feels like as if Ho-Oh is more of a threat and he can handle the Gastrodon, but we'll see. Or he could be doing this to get more information from his other Mon.
But the Yawn here.
So Vince revealing the Yawn on the Gastrodon, that's going to be big info to know because that means when Gastrodon will be in front of Matt's Pokemon, he'll be less likely to Dynamax one of them because he does not want them falling asleep.
True.
Matt mulling over the option of another Water Spout. He really does not want those restricteds to stay on the field, and he feels like as if he could still handle the Gastrodon one-on-one.
But still, 2 boosts of special attack for Gastrodon because of that. And the Water Spout that will do a bit less damage because Kyogre lost some health.
Indeed. And even with the rain and holding the Mystic Water item, it's still not enough. The Earth Power goes through and Kyogre falls asleep.
Tailwind fell.
And that will be game 1 going to Vince's direction. So, Martin, what do you think of that match so far? What did you think of that game, actually?
I think both teams had interest in strategy, especially on Vince's side, to use the pressure with Raichu to set up O's weakness policy. I think that was a game changer. I don't know, in your opinion. What did you think of it?
Well, definitely helped turn the tides of war, for lack of a better term, into Vince's favor. Especially with the weakness policy proc, but I feel like as if the main game changer was when Zacian was actually paralyzed on that turn. I feel like as if Zacian was able to attack on that turn, he might have been able to get the KO on either one of the Mons, drastically turning the the flow of the battle.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, I don't know if even if Zacian was able to kill in that round. Well, yeah, in that turn, I don't think with Yveltal full health and who was the last and Gastrodon that was still sitting there with Kyogre in the back. I think Matt would have had to pull out some magic there to come back from it.
True, it would have been less of a climb for him though. So that's why I feel like as if there might have been a chance, but we'll see coming to game 2. Let's see how the players change their strategy. But yeah, do you think maybe Vince changes his approach, or do you feel like as if he probably takes the same approach?
Depending, I mean, the strategy worked, but now Matt knows how to prepare for it. But he had good coverage, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the same Pokemon. What do you think on your side?
I believe so too. I'm one of those players that firmly believes if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if it worked for game 1, bring it again for game 2 and let's see. Because I feel like as if you change too much, you start to doubt yourself and you start making little mental mistakes that can cost you the game itself. So we're going to find out actually. Vince is about to lead out with Regieleki and Ho-Oh. A slightly different lead. Well, actually completely different lead from the last game. And Matt's going to go with Zacian and Thundurus. What do you think of the lead so far, Martin?
I think on Vince's side is basically the same type of strategy. From Matt, I think he adapted. Instead of sending Whimsicott, he sent Thundurus right away, so he wouldn't waste time with a switch, which is a good thing. What do you think?
I like the Regieleki lead because it is a very, very fast mon and has access to screens, any type of physical attacks. We'll see what happens exactly. Ho gets swapped out for the Gastrodon slot. I feel like as if probably Vince was expecting a electric type attack to go into the Gastrodon slot. Tid Dynamaxing early on. He's Dynamaxing the Thundurus. Let's see if Vince read that correctly.
It's like 2 games in a row that he's Dynamaxing really early. We'll see if this time it goes in his favor.
We'll find out soon. Zacian going for the Protect. Does not want to take any damage early on. And there's a Reflect. As said before, Regieleki's a great screen setter for how fast it is. Oh, Matt with the max Airstream. Good choice of an attack.
Although, wow, because of the screen, like the Regieleki.
Yeah, even though it's not an effective attack, it's one of those safe type of choices you can make because it gives you a +1 speed boost, which can be crucial when you face a Regieleki since it's a very, very fast Pokemon. But it guarantees damage, not a lot, but it might make a crucial X factor later on.
Yeah, depending, and we don't know what Matt has in reserve. So if he has Whimsicott as well, he could use the speed boost plus the Tailwind to his advantage.
Indeed, and he also knows that if by any chance there's a Thunder Wave or Electric Web on the Regieleki, that it still kind of guarantees him advantage in the speed game later on. But it seems like as if he's really going into boosting up that Zacian.
Yeah. That one that try to withstand even more damage.
The Max Knuckle is going to come in soon to boost the attack of Zacian, so it's going to have a +2 attack boost and a +1 speed boost. With a substitute, I think that's pretty dangerous for Vince to face right now.
Yeah. It's kind of paradoxical to see like Matt's 2 Pokemon, because right now there's one that is really patient with Zacian and one that is really aggressive with Thundurus.
Yeah, and I feel like as if right now with Matt's purpose with the Thundurus, and you can correct me if you feel it's probably different, but I think Matt, what he's using for his Dynamax is to set up Zacian to be the sweeper, to finish up the game itself, and Thundurus is just there to be a setup mon with the Dynamax moves.
Yeah, you totally agree, and then I totally agree, sorry. And what is useful, oh wow, the kill on Regieleki? Because of a crit, okay, that makes sense.
But also, to be fair, there is a +2 attack boost on the Zacian as well, so maybe crit did not matter, but we'll see.
And the thing with Thundurus is that once it's done its usefulness of setting up his partner, He has the high attack stats, so he can still go on and try to do some damage as well. Because let's face it, he benefits from the boost as well.
Agreed, agreed. It will be falling asleep though because Gastron did use Yawn, but you know it's not the end of the world if that happens. Well, we're gonna see the substitute fade from the Zacian, which is not a big deal. It's pretty much gotten one kill so far. Let's see if it's able to get another one after that.
Yeah, I mean it's really fast, and yes, O is there, but you can still outspeed Gastrodon. And the only thing I think Matt will need to work around is the weakness policy on OO.
Agreed. Do you expect Ho-Oh to Dynamax here?
Probably because Vince is in a tight spot right now.
I kind of see it too. It does have to worry about the fact that Behemoth Blade will get double damage when it Dynamaxes, and the fact that it already has +2 attack. So with the, I remember if from the first game with the +1 attack boost, it was able to bring it down to about a quarter health. So maybe a +2 attack boost might be enough to get the kill, but let's find out.
It's also not a very effective move, so at that point, maybe Matt will wait a bit before using it. To make
Oh,
sure
I agree. Yeah, that's
goes
a good...
for the kill.
No, you're completely right. But we do see the Dynamax on the Ho-Oh here. Like you said before, he might need it to change momentum back into his favor.
Yep. The thing that will help though is the fact that Thunderous is asleep, which can buy Vince some time to set up things.
And the Max Quake is probably going to the Zacian slot. Obviously, it would have to go to the Zacian slot, or else it wouldn't hit on the Thunderous.
Yep.
Even through the Protect, it does half health damage. That's a large amount of damage.
A little bit less because there was a substitute that took some damage.
Ah, yes, indeed. My stream here is a little bit unclear. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Ice Beam from the Gastrodon slot, going to do about a fifth of, not even, about a third of damage on the Thunderous slot, which is still very good damage, considering that it is a Gastrodon without any special attack boosts. Seems like Matt went for the Electro Web choice of attack here, trying to reduce the speed of O, but that would trigger its weakness policy.
But if he's faster afterwards with Zacian having the upper hand, we can see on that turn that he's faster, so he might try to take the advantage.
Indeed, and another Max Quake coming into the Zacian slot will probably pick up the KO, and it does. And now Ho-Oh's with a +2 special defense boost. That could be crucial considering the Kyogre in the back for Matt.
But Matt has always access to electric move with Thunderous. Thunderous is still alive, fast mon. He has boosts as well because of Max Knuckle and Max Airstream. So it's still possible if Thunderous wakes up to take down the O. And Rillaboom is an interesting choice, considering he's weak to both of the Pokemon on the field right now.
I think he brings Rillaboom just to probably buy out the last turn of Ho-Oh's Dynamax and probably get a Fake Out in to see if maybe take advantage of a Fake Out and a Wild Charge or Electro Web turn instead of just losing the Kyogre straight on.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the Fake Out is going to go into the Yveltal slot. Let's see. We know Yveltal has Sucker Punch as one of its moves. Does it also carry Protect? Oh, well, nope. Fake Out goes through. Yveltal avoids the Electro Web, though. Ooh, that's not good. And the Electro Web going through into the Ho-Oh, lowering its speed, but triggering that weakness policy.
But Electro Web did nothing because of special defense boost.
Agreed.
And the Max Flare coming in clutch on Thunderous, going for the kill.
Yeah, Vince realizes that Thunderous is a major threat to both his Yveltal and his Ho-Oh, and considering it's also a physical attacker in this matchup, so it wants to make sure that he gives himself a better position for a win by killing it.
Yep, and now Matt is going with his Kyogre.
Yeah, so Matt knows that Yveltal has Sucker Punch. So would Matt go for a water spout here, or do you think he goes for an Origin Pulse?
I think, in my opinion, the best bet will go for Origin Pulse to try to take down the O right away.
Oh, it does not have Origin Pulse. It has Water Spout and Scald, so we're going to see soon enough. But Ho is carrying +2 on its special defense boost, so might not be too much of an effective attack. But let's find out on this turn. And here comes the water spout. Good amount of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
The wood hammer.
Oh, still not enough. Brave Bird is
on the Kyogre, which is a really good choice considering Rillaboom can't do much against those two Pokemon.
Indeed. Now, if you're mad here with Rillaboom, you have access to priority move and Grassy Glide. Who do you aim for?
Honestly, I'll go for even if it's risky. I don't know what you think, but
and the Oblivion Wing coming through. Does not pick up the KO, but it does heal that Yveltal to with a very significant amount. Ooh, not looking good for Matt. The Woodhammer's going to come through and get the knockout on the Ho-Oh. Oh, it does not actually. Interesting.
And that's GG.
Yes, and Vince wins round 1 versus Matt with a 2-0 win. Great game between both players. But it seems like Vince played very well in that matchup. Martin, do you have any comments you would like to add about that game?
Honestly, I think Vince did a great job of dancing around Matt's team. Matt didn't let himself lose. Well, he didn't lose easily. It was a tough customer, and still Vince really pulled it off. What do you think about it?
I think, honestly speaking, just from that matchup, from what we saw, I believe Vince went very well with his strategy. First led off with the Raichu and then with the Regieleki, knowing that what's important for him is to set up those screens and get himself into a more bulkier range to handle Matt's offensive teams. And as we saw, Matt was trying to go for that offensive setup with Thundurus and Zacian as the game 2 lead. At the end of the day, I feel like as if Matt adjusted well, but Vince was one step ahead of that adjustment.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think Reflect was actually pretty crucial in that matchup, considering that Thundurus and Rillaboom were brought in from Matt. It probably made the difference between those Woodhammers being knockouts versus just big chunks of damage. I think if there was no Reflect, he probably might have picked up the KO on the Ho-Oh and be able to probably try to handle the Yveltal on the 101. But then again, Oblivion Wing is a move that heals every time you do damage. So it wasn't looking good for Matt during that scenario.
Exactly. And honestly, I think I would have risked it with the charge with Thundurus instead of the Electro Web because he was already faster, but that's my humble opinion.
Go
ahead.
No, you had another point. Please finish off.
Also, the fact that Yveltal avoid the attack, and the fact that previous match he was paralyzed, Zacian was paralyzed and couldn't even attack. I think those turns didn't really help Matt. And what were you about to say?
I agree too, because Ho-Oh does carry that weakness policy, and you don't really want to give it any more boosts since it already had its +2 special defense boosts. If it were me, I would focus more on the supporting mod slot, but there's a reason why I'm commentating, not playing, right?
It's easy to analyze once we're watching the game and its whole thing compared to being part of it.
I agree. Hindsight is also 2020, so you don't want to make a comment after the fact thinking that it was the right choice because you already know what the outcomes were, right? So,
exactly.
But
you said, there's a reason why we're commenting and not participating.
This is true. But all in all, it was well played by Vince in that match. I think the mod choices by Matt weren't incorrect. I just feel like as if maybe it was not a great matchup for him.
Exactly.
As right now we're cleaning up for round 1, waiting for everything to get settled before round 2. So as we can see that, so we'll be back shortly.
Yeah.